Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Anime Egotists, where we're heels, not assholes. I got we got me, Foster here, and I'm joined by my lovely, handsome co-host. Now say hi to our beautiful audience.
Hey audience, it's Williamson.
That's right. Hey, and together we are the Anime Egotists. There are two of us, or do the others count as Anime Egotists?
Kind of. I think we're the only ones that are in most videos.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for everything looking different. I'm currently stuck in the Hoenn region. Things are weird over here. I saw Brendan about an hour ago, and he flipped me off. He's about the same as everybody says he is. But you're not here to listen to my travels. You're here to hear us talk about. Well, actually, we don't really know why you're here. Williamson, why are they here?
They want to know about Johto Journeys.
Johto Journeys, yeah. As much as I would love that, it's kind of the journey of every E region because we're here to talk about the new series, Pokemon Journeys. We watched the first 12-ish episodes on Netflix. We're going to wait for part 2 and do a review of that and however many parts there are.
Mm-hmm.
But we just wanted to get our thoughts on part 1 because we want to see how much our opinions changed from the first 12 episodes to the last part of the series.
Yeah.
Before we get into everything, overall, what are your thoughts on damn it, you got me saying Johto Journeys, you bastard. What are your thoughts on Pokemon Journeys?
So far, I'm actually kind of enjoying this season. I think they're doing what the last series, the Alolan series, was trying to do.
Yeah.
Which is they updated the animation to be more fluid and more of a cartoon style versus anime, but here it just feels like it fits a bit better.
Yeah, I could say that. I'm actually really enjoying the series so far. There's a couple of things that I kind of question and things I kind of completely check out to, but overall, it's a good first start, which I found to be kind of funny considering everywhere I read, people are saying, "Oh, the first few episodes suck, but it gets better," and I'm just like, I don't really see it. I think they're doing a solid start so far.
I definitely enjoyed the first episode, which kind of had Ash being late and making that a propensity, but then also giving Pikachu's backstory.
Yeah, Pikachu's backstory was something I wasn't really asking for, but at the same time, I'm like, it works in this scenario. It works. It makes sense. There was nothing too out of the ordinary. I did find it kind of weird that everybody seems to be meeting each other at these Pokemon camps. Like our two lead-ish characters, Chloe and Go. Like they met Ash and Serena at a Pokemon camp. Where are all these Pokemon camps, and why haven't we ever been invited to any of them? What's the deal with that?
Who knows? I mean, that was a little bit threw me off. It's like they've already used this backstory before, 2 series ago. Why are they reusing it now?
I don't know. Who knows, mate? Who knows? Maybe the actors wanted a vacation. We're like, look, we'll do this, but we want a Pokemon camp story, and the writers are just like, you know what? Fine. If it keeps you from complaining, we'll just do it. Let's just move on.
Yeah. So then, what was the second episode? Was that them actually going to the new professor's place?
Yeah, basically that, and the Ash. I gotta say, his animation itself doesn't really bother me, but his outfit kind of feels plain to me. Like it feels like out of all the other ones, this is the one that they kind of just. It feels the most like just random street clothes as opposed to Pokemon trainer clothes. I guess that's just me though. It's a little weird.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah. Not only that, but like as I mentioned before, we met our new characters, Go and Chloe.
Yeah.
And Go's thing is he seemingly wants to catch every Pokemon, especially Mew, because in like I want to say the first episode of Pokemon Camp, when they were in Pokemon Camp, he saw a Mew, and he and he and Chloe basically ran after it, and now he really wants to catch Mew, which
Yeah.
I appreciate that's a goal that he's had for a long time, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's a big goal, but it's not necessarily to the level of I want to be a Pokemon Master, I want to be a Pokemon Breeder, I want to be a Kalos Queen, or whatever it was called. I don't know.
Well, that's something I'm actually kind of pleased that they're doing with Chloe's character, is that she doesn't know what she wants to do. Like, it seems like every single trainer that Ash ever meets, or every person is, I want to be a breeder, or I am a breeder, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a coordinator, I want to be Kalos Queen, I want to do this, I want to be a Pokemon celebrity, I want to be a Pokemon trainer, Pokemon master. Which, by the way, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen this series yet, they've pretty much admitted that Pokemon Master means absolutely nothing in this series.
Yes, I remember because we did several videos about Ash leaving the series, Ash staying in the series, whatever. And I always say, hey, I always ask the same question. What the hell does it mean to be a Pokemon Master? And none of us have an answer. And I thought to myself, maybe they'll address that. And Chloe's just like, what do you mean by Pokemon Master? Nothing.
Yeah, because
Nothing.
they literally asked, does that catch all the Pokemon? It's like, that might be part of it. Does that mean beating the Pokemon leagues? Well, I've beaten a Pokemon league.
But what does it mean?
So, yes, it's like, so they finally admit that they have no idea what Ash's actual goal is.
Yeah, fun fact about that, on the Pokemon website itself, and on Bulbapedia, they pretty much said, yeah, there's no real definition to being a Pokemon Master because they don't want the series to have basically an end goal in sight because they want to keep it going, I guess, as long as they want. But come on! Like you could just say, befriend. Oh, it means like being good to all Pokemon, befriending all these Pokemon. I'm like, that's fine. That's open-ended. We can just leave it at that. But Pokemon Master. So no, you're gonna have to look up at Urban Dictionary for that. We don't have the answer.
So yeah, that kind of bugged me, and it's like, but one thing I will say is that it's, how to put it, Ash is almost back to where he should be at this point. He's if he's gonna remain 10 like he has, okay, make him the energetic kid who wants to meet and befriend all the Pokemon.
Right.
But I like how they've done him in this one where he's, oh, that's Scyther, and goes the one who's looking it up on the Pokedex. And they're
that's
talking
okay.
And Ash is, I mean, there's like, specifically when they met Lugia again in the second episode, and Ash is like, oh yeah, this is Lugia. Oh, this is so cool. And to do it again, he talks about doing it a second time. Or
yeah, so they're at least acknowledging the fact that this series has been going on for 20 plus years. I can appreciate that.
But they're making it so that Ash is at least this time remembers what he's already done.
Yeah, and admittedly, he feels more kiddish than series like Advanced, Diamond and Pearl, and X and Y. But I guess to me, like leading back into O and Chloe for a second, is when Ash acts. Like, there are times we see the stuff Ash does that's kind of kiddish, and we kind of just roll our eyes and groan at stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, nowadays, we're seeing other characters do it. Like, you remember the infamous scene where they're brushing their teeth before they start the day.
Yes.
And Ash is shaking his head and basically that. And we see the whole time Go's just looking at him like, this is who I'm stuck with for the next 2 to 3 seasons. Oh boy. Hey, like I appreciate the fact that they're not treating Ash like he's this almost like this perfect character who's like everything he does is just like, oh, that's just Ash, or that looks funny. That there are actually people they're actually showing a little bit of dimension by showing, yeah, these people are starting to get sick of him.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that Ash is he can be a kid, which I'm perfectly fine with. If they're not going to age him, I'm happy that he's a kid.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I've grown past that.
Yeah, but they do show that he has gained knowledge. He knows what he's doing for the most part now. So that's, I think, a big step.
Yeah, I
So
think so too.
I guess we need to talk about the other main character for this season and Go.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you go first on this one? Because I'm still processing Go.
I'm glad they found a way of making him have his own desires because they could have made him, they could have copied a Brock or Misty. Oh, I just want to collect a certain type, or I want to be a breeder. I guess they could have brought in something new, but they've done that before where they brought in something brand new. So having him, I want to be pretty much a Pokemon collector. I want one of every Pokemon.
Yeah. The one thing that does kind of bother me about that goal is when he says stuff like just hypothetically, he sees an Aeron. He catches it, it's his. And then he sees a Lairon. It's like, no, I'm going to catch that. And I'm like, dude, you could just evolve it and move on. Like, that part kind of bothers me. Then again, you could argue it's like, yeah, but then he wouldn't have one of each. And I'm like, yes, but if any of his Pokemon evolve, he won't have one of each anyway, so it kind of defeats the purpose.
It's kind of like that thing where he caught 3 Wurmples and they all evolved into the same Cascoon form.
I did laugh at him for that. I'm not a good person, but I did laugh at him for that. I'm just like, dude.
Yeah.
His character, though, I don't know. It seems like in the early stages, the writers are kind of confused as to, in terms of personality, what they want him to be, because there are times when he's completely going on with Ash and being like, man, that's really cool, and blushing for some reason. I don't really get that. And then there are other times where he kind of just resonates with me and just acknowledges that Ash is kind of, at times he kind of gets too kiddish for his own good. I don't know.
Yeah, and then they almost do something with his character where this is from I think a middle of the season episode,
Right.
where where Ash enters him in the tournament and he loses right away. But he's, how to put it, by the end of the episode he's like, battling it looks really fun, but he loses in the first round and gets upset and runs away. It's like, maybe have him either not like battling at all, or have it be over a few, like the rest of the first part, he's learning how to like battling, or that it is actually a part based on the Pokemon he has.
Yeah, like some of it, like maybe he can't, like hypothetically, just off the top of my head, maybe he loses, but keeps the mindset of, battling's not all that fun. Maybe he catches a Pokemon, or even his, spoiler alert, Score Bunny, and he really likes battling. So in order to compromise himself, he's like, this Pokemon of mine really wants to battle, and if I can't give that to it, then I can't be a good trainer. So I'm going to learn how to appreciate battles more. Maybe just something along those lines. It didn't have to be a one episode. Man, battling's awesome. Can't wait.
Now that is something I'm hoping they do more of throughout it, is just these kind of random tournaments that Ash gets to enter and show that, oh yeah, he's a good trainer now.
Yeah, he doesn't. And the thing is, he doesn't have to win every single one of those tournaments. He can win the one at the very end. Look, I mean, they did that last season, and it was met with initially huge praise, but nowadays people are kind of like, wait, it took him this long, but whatever. But he can be in like 3 or 4 tournaments over the course of the series, and he can lose 1 or 2 of them, as long as it's a good battle, and as long as he doesn't just completely lose all the knowledge he learned.
Yeah. Another thing, Mr. Mime is freaky.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so I was hoping we would forget about him. Yeah, he's something about him. Like I don't don't know. I don't know. Like, first of all, he's battling more, which to me is kind of, it makes sense because he's strong, but the other time it's kind of weird in the sense of it's just like, oh, we're just now gonna start to let you battle. But yeah, he's weird. Like, there are a lot of images that pop up of him throughout the series, and I don't know what the writers were thinking with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't know where they're going to go with that.
Yeah, I guess we should also talk about our other character. What do you think about Chloe?
As I think I may have started to say it and I may not have finished earlier. I like her character. I like that they're going with everyone's expecting her to follow her dad and become a researcher, and she's like, I don't know if I even want to be a Pokemon researcher. I don't even know if I want to be a Pokemon trainer.
It's so you're basically going the Serena route, except she hasn't met Ash before.
Well, but Serena wanted to do something with Pokemon, I think. This is more of she doesn't even know if she wants to, like, she might want to become something completely different.
I don't think that those exist in the Pokemon world. That can't be right. That
I mean,
I think one of the writers just needs to pull her aside and be like, hey, you know you're in the wrong series for this, right? It's Pokemon. It's Pokemon. Like, you're not going to do anything else related to that. If you become a chef, you're making Pokemon related stuff. Become a researcher, Pokemon related researcher. Becoming an artist, you're going to post Pokemon pics on DeviantArt. Like, look, it's one way or another, it's going to happen. Just, I don't know, though. I do kind of appreciate how out of all of Ash's companions, she's like seemingly the one that wants little to nothing to do with him. Because she kind of gives the cold shoulder to Ash and Go. Like, Go I can understand because it seems like he kind of ticks her off, but Ash is just sort of there. I don't know.
yeah, I'm trying to think of how to put her. Like, she's different from Ash's previous companions, all
Yeah,
of them. So that's kind of new, and I'm interested to see where they go with it.
yeah. I guess we also probably should have talked about the very first thing that happens after the first few seconds of Pokemon on shows. We got to address the theme song.
It's not the worst.
You're not going to be you might be a little shocked to hear me say this. I love the theme song far more than I should.
Yeah, it's trying to give that same upbeat view, I think, as the Sun and Moon, but
The first
didn't.
Sun opening.
Yeah, but didn't overdo it.
Yeah, it has like a mellow feel to it. Like, being completely honest, it's on my phone, like, because they released it on everything, and I jammed to it just to sort of get in the headspace before the video. I'm just like, man, this song it's like good, and it's the first Pokemon theme song to not have the word Pokemon in it, which is different.
Yeah. Oh, God,
And
as long as it's not Black and White 1,
oh
shoot me.
no. We're not getting that again. And if we get enough subscribers, we will sing the new Pokemon Journeys theme. I didn't say we'd film it. I said we'd sing it. So we'll probably sing it on our own time. Please subscribe.
Oh, so what was the next thing?
I guess. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
How do you feel about how they brought in uh, Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing?
I'm okay with it for the most part because it's just sort of a mechanic. It's just like, oh yeah, Leon can do it and Lance can do it. That's cool and everything. And then all of a sudden there are times it just sort of happens and randomly inconveniences people. To be fair, it kind of had to happen. You can't have giant Pokemon roaming a region and not have incidents with it happen every now and then.
Yeah, the first episode when they did it with Snorlax, it was like, okay, so that's kind of what they mean and how they actually have to defeat it or get it smaller before it, or get it off the train tracks. That's what
Yeah.
they were trying to do. It's like, yeah, that, okay, I can see how that can cause problems. Although, why would you build a train state or train tracks near a spot that might be known for that? I still don't know.
I swear the series makes things way more complicated than it needs to be sometimes. But along with that, though, that was also during the very infamous episode of Pokemon Journeys, where Score Bunny pretty much tells Go that it wants to travel with it. Oh boy. Do you remember what Go said to Score Bunny afterwards?
The first time it asked,
Yes.
He rejected a Pokemon asking.
Yeah, and why would you, okay, all right, so let's think about this. Let's say you and I are trainers. Let's say your favorite Pokemon is Totodile. Well,
Yeah.
obviously our viewers know that by now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and they say, and a Score Bunny walks up to you specifically and says, and pretty much implies that it wants to be your trainer. Sure. If you said, "Oh, sorry, I want my first Pokemon to be Totodile," I would slap you. I'd be like, "Really? A Pokemon is advertising, yes, I want to be on your team, and it's a starter, which is rare by comparison to other Pokemon." But Go's just like, nah, I want Mew. No, I'm sorry, Score Bunny. I love Amelia. Wow. That reference right there is going to upset a lot of fans, but we'll get past that. Like, I don't know. They had balls when they did that. That's out. What are my thoughts on that? Speak for me.
It's so different from the Pokemon, and I mean, then they have such a big change right away within, I mean, probably 5 minutes, because it's like the last few minutes of the episode, you have the Gigantamax issue and Score Bunny showing up and all that. It's like, really? So in that's the thing with Go. He changes his mind within such a short time frame that that's, I think, my big issue with Go.
No, he has selective memory. That's how they write him. They write him as he changes his mind in the last bit. Like, hypothetically, Team Rocket could say, "Hey, you're a good trainer. You should join up with us." He would say no immediately, and by the end of the episode, he'd change his mind and be like, "Oh, yeah, I can join you guys. Sweet." Like just, I don't know. I hope if that is intentionally a part of his character, which it very well could be, and they could just be tricking us that way, then maybe they could develop it down the line. But if it's something that they just keep doing just because, well, we have to pad out the episode with conflict, then it makes him come across as fickle and kind of a little unlikable in some senses. But it's not too overbearing, at least not yet.
Yeah, he's not been terrible, but he's still, I'm hoping that in the next part there's more development for him.
As long as they don't start using the phrase, it's "Hey, Go, let's go," or something stupid like that, I'm okay.
You just reminded me of something.
Oh God, what did I do?
In like the episode after the one where he finally gets Score Bunny, he gets they go out into the to catch the bug Pokemon.
Okay, yeah.
And they start using "Let's Go" mechanics.
Oh Jesus, that's right.
Because he starts talking about how you can if you throw a curveball, it's better than throwing it straight at the Pokemon. It's like, really?
Oh, Go is such a mark. I forgot about that. That's amazing. It's just, he's just one of those guys who's like, Sword and Shield, nah. Let's play that. Let's play Let's Go. And I'm just like, now that I think about it, now I'm annoyed that you've told me that. It's just like it's just like, if I throw the Pokeball. That's another thing. Let's think about this. He doesn't even battle the wild Pokemon half the time. He's just like, Pokeball, go. Oh, caught it. Sweet. Like, just,
He is literally 6-year-old me playing my first Pokemon game, where I'm in, which was God, when I was 6, I had Yellow before I had Crystal, and then I
Okay.
got Crystal shortly. So I was probably playing Yellow at the time, throwing rather than actually going out and battling the Pokemon to make them weak, I would just throw all the Pokeballs at them.
Oh my god. Ah, that's what bothers. It's not that even that the problem that he catches Pokemon on an episode to episode to episode basis. It's the fact that it's just so damn easy for him. Like it'd be one thing if they switched roles and Ash was the one trying to catch Pokemon. Because it could be implied, maybe he knows more about it since he's been training for 20 something years now. Oh, but Ghost just like, oh, I'm a beginner. Caught it.
That really raises the question: are they going to continue this where when he runs into I'm trying to think of a non-legendary. When he runs into a Metagross, a fully evolved Metagross, which has like the lowest catch rate of a non-legendary Pokemon, is he just going to throw a Pokeball at it and catch it, or
No, worse. Even worse. He's going to throw a Premier Ball and catch it.
well, I mean, he should have like at least 10 because he had that bag full at one point.
Yeah, and he wasted it all on the Dugong. Like, Jesus Christ. That's well, how is he even? Does he just go back to the lab and be like, "Yeah, I need more Pokeballs." Oh, you got like 10 or 20 new ones? Well, I just used them all on one Dugong. So, mm-hmm. Man,
Yeah.
no wonder Chloe hates you guys. Jesus.
Okay. So one other thing that I can think of that I really wanted to talk about was one of a few things has happened based on the tournament at the end of the uh in the final episode where you see Lance and Leon.
Yeah.
So apparently they've got a new Johto champion because if you didn't notice, they specifically mention that he is the uh final member of the Kanto Elite Four, but there's no mention of the fact that he's at least a few years ago was the Johto League champion.
Okay, before we continue with this, do you think it's a simple of they're just giving a little Easter egg, or do you think they just legitimately forgot that he was champion?
I legit think they forgot that he was supposed to be the Johto champion, unless, of course, they're gonna reveal something later on where they've got a new character as the Johto League champion.
They could just start bringing in the game characters like we talk about, but no, no,
Yeah, I mean,
no.
I'm trying to think because they could have one of the gym leaders have finally done it or something, but who
No,
knows?
plot twist, it's Richie.
Oh God, I wouldn't mind seeing Richie
I
again.
was about to say you got so annoyed that you're like, oh, Richie, yeah, he's fine.
No, it's the baseball chick from Johto
Oh,
series.
I think her name was
Did Let's Go.
Casey.
I, that might be right, but it's the Let's Go Electabuzz.
Oh, well, I don't miss her. I don't miss her.
Uh,
Oh man, that's another thing we should do. We should we should just get a Skype or Zoom caller together and just talk about all the Pokemon characters we hate.
okay, maybe we might have a new video coming out sooner. We're starting to get these out a bit more regularly, if you haven't
Yeah,
noticed. So.
yeah. But just so you know, when we make this list, there are going to be characters on this list that you like, and that's fine, I guess. Like as long as you're willing to hear us out, we'll be willing to hear you out. We won't change our minds or anything, nothing like that. But we like to listen to our audience. We like to talk to you because we care about you guys. We care about you guys more than we care about each other.
Yeah, whichever way you need to point. I have no idea.
It's this way. This way.
Okay, well, for me, it's straight down because
I don't know. Anyways, hey, getting back to the series though, I don't know. There's something about this because when we admitted when we first started watching Sun and Moon, we were not really all that into it because it was just such a drastic change from a series both you and I loved as X and Y. Like we thought the characters in X and Y were strong, the battles were good, the animation was nice. We thought all the companions were really good, so we appreciate that. Meanwhile, Sun and Moon had about 6 companions altogether. It had, or at least 5. It was Kiawe, Lana, Mallow, Lily, and Williamson's favorite, Sophocles.
Fuck Sophocles.
Yeah. He's not your favorite?
You know, I really hope that that one of his Pokemon turns into a Charizard and just keeps electrocuting him.
I'm okay with that. Wait, did you say Charizard?
I meant like how Charizard acted towards Ash, where Ash kept getting burned, but in this case, it's Sophocles getting electrocuted.
Okay, because I'm about to say, if Charizard started electrocuting him, that would be a plot twist. That would be something I'd want to see. But I appreciate how this series is just back to basics, like 2 main, like Ash, one guy, and maybe and Chloe, the girl of the group, who's like, I appreciate that they dialed back in characters, which you would think means more character development for everybody, but we'll just have to wait and see as it progresses, because we just don't know yet.
Another thing that's kind of nice about this series was, while they did travel around to the other islands, at least from what I always saw, the islands always looked the same.
Yeah.
So here you get to see the differences. Like when they went back to Johto, they went to Ecruteak City, which is one of like the most, how to put it, unique cities. I mean, it's got the towers and
right.
It's got a very traditional Japanese style, but then they've gone to Galar and seen the open fields, but then the big city with the big thing. So it's very interesting to be able to see the different regions compared to each other now.
Yeah, one of the things I will ask of, and obviously they've already done a bunch of the episodes. We don't know when the next set of English episodes are going to come out. We just don't know yet. But I hope they put more of a focus on Galar, because that's basically where we're trying to be at. Unless there's another completely different series where the main focus is Galar, and no, Twilight Wings doesn't count. But I would like more of a focus, because we've seen Kalos, we've seen Hoenn, we've seen Unova. But let's put more of a focus on Galar overall, and we can keep going back to the other places as we see fit.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what they're doing, because we've had, 2-3 episodes that are in Galar, with at least one guaranteed episode to start the next series or the next part.
Yeah, I've heard of a couple of Galar people who we're gonna see, but I don't want to drop any spoilers.
Yeah, so I'm just specifically because if I remember correctly, the season or the first part ended on a cliffhanger where Team Rocket caused an accidental Gigantamaxing.
Yeah. Well, I was about to say, worst part is they didn't even do it on purpose. It's just like, oops, our bad. What's that? We're out of time? Oh, well, see you guys in like 4 months or whenever the next 12 episodes are coming out. I don't know.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that there's gonna be a focus there, but I do like them being able to go back and see different things.
So out of all of the regions, out of all the Pokemon episodes, out of all the characters, because people always say, oh, I want this character to come back in the series. I want this other character to do this other thing. Name 1, 2, or however many characters who you would want to see who haven't been, who, as far as you know, haven't been confirmed yet. Who are characters who you'd want to see come back and maybe have an additional role episode, maybe few, just whatever works for you?
I wouldn't mind. I'm trying to think. Maybe some of the older gym leaders. I know that, spoiler alert for those of you who have done everything, skip like 30 seconds. Lieutenant Surge is coming back in an episode in either the second part or the third part. I don't know which. But I kind of like that, where maybe some of these older battles he can go back and face them again, but not for a badge or anything, just to face them again.
I mean, to be fair, he could go back and face Brock and Misty and actually beat them for the gym battle, for the gym badge this time. Not even for the badge, just to be like, I can beat you. So once I win this battle, you can't bring up the fact that you handed me the badges anymore. But we've seen Brock and Misty in Sun and Moon, so we don't have to see them again right away. That's just a joke. look hypothetically.
Blasphemer! You are not a member of the Gen 1 community.
Although, I guess
No, in all honesty, I agree.
yeah.
I like Brock and Misty, but I have no need to see them again right away.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and I've said before, like, Gen 3 is my favorite, but I don't think I need to see May and Max again right this very second. Like, maybe the next series, but I don't know. For some reason, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think?
I don't know if I mean they've done the occasional where the older companions come back, but lately, at least with Sun and Moon, it was just Brock and Misty, which that would have been the series that they bring Serena back based on the others because
Or Clement and Bonnie.
yeah, because May only came back in Diamond and Pearl, Dawn came back in Black and White, and then did anyone actually come back in? No one came back in X and
No.
Y, which was probably a good thing.
Yeah. I guess we should also talk about the annual rumor of. I don't like to get into this because it's a controversial topic that I don't really agree with, but we have to address it. This is the annual "Is Serena coming back?" thing. Do you think Serena's? Let me ask. Do you want her to come back? Do you think she's coming back? What's the deal?
I could see them bringing her back if they do an episode in Kalos where they go to the main city, but I would think that they would be meeting up with everybody. You'd see Clement and you'd see Bonnie as well.
Yeah, maybe not Serena. Shauna, Trevor, Tien, maybe them, but I don't think. I think they're done. I think their contracts are up. I think they're moving up to the main roster. I think they're doing other stuff.
Yeah, personally, I do not think that Serena will come back in this one.
I don't either.
If they bring her back, it'll be 1-2 episode thing that happens in Kalos whenever they visit Kalos at some point.
And then we'll probably never see her again, or at least for several years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because people always say, "Oh, I think she could come back." Actually, was supposed to come back in Sun and Moon, and I'm like, "Where are you hearing this? Like, are you in the writers' room? Are you no? Like, I don't know. I think people need to accept that sometimes your favorites just aren't coming back at the moment. Like, especially since there's not really any need to.
Yeah.
I feel bad because some of our fans are Serena fans. That's okay. It's just this is gonna come off as weird, but I think for me, Serena was a great character who I just didn't particularly have any attachment for. Like, is that weird to say about a character?
No, because I can kind of understand where you came from. That she was very well developed for a Pokemon character.
Yeah, for a Pokemon character.
But she wasn't. Is she the best character ever? No.
No, I don't think. I mean, if you ask me, my favorite Pokemon character of all time is James, and I it's funny. We always talk about, is Ash going to lead the series? They need to replace Ash, this, and that. But if they replace Team Rocket, we would have a riot. Like, nobody. It's weird how both sets of characters have been involved with the show for so long, and one character is kind of controversial at best, but the other set of characters are totally beloved. And if anything happened to them in the series, we might never watch it the same way again. It's just very interesting. Meanwhile, I feel like Team Rocket are still somehow the best part of the series. I don't know. Something about them they feel funnier this season more than ever for some reason.
Yeah, I like them this season. I don't know. I'm trying to remember back to Sun and Moon a bit, and I seem to remember that these last two series now they've been pushed kind of to the side again.
Yeah, I mean, in Sun and Moon they barely tried to steal anything. They just ran their businesses, which they're actually better at than stealing Pokemon, oddly enough.
Well, and then now, how do you feel about them not having partner Pokemon for Team Rocket in the series?
Oh, that is something I wanted to touch on. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Like, here's the thing. Like, one of the things is I would appreciate more if, depending on the Pokemon they got, it was the twerps had a harder time of dealing with them. But at the same time, it feels like my thing is it doesn't feel like it makes a difference either way. It's just, oh, we got these random Pokemon. Oh, we lost. Us next episode, rinse and repeat. Like, it just. I guess if I felt like it was more successful sometimes and other times it wasn't, I'd be more on board for it. But now it's just I don't care. It's just it's fine for me, but it doesn't make me feel happy or sad one way or the other.
Yeah, I don't know, because some of the best Team Rocket episodes are the ones where you find out they really do care about their Pokemon, that
Yes.
and they have their emotional connections with them. So the fact that they don't get that in the series, I mean, heck, I didn't even, as I said, I've never actually finished watching. Well, I never watched all of Black and White, and I never watched all of Sun and Moon, just
Yeah.
because there were parts that I just couldn't get into anymore.
Right. Right.
But from what I remember, both those series, while they did start out with new Pokemon as well, like Ash usually does, they still had Pokemon that were their Pokemon. So I could at least enjoy that part. Where
Heck, yeah. Heck, one of the best episodes of Diamond and Pearl is when James has to give up Cacnea, and the very and it. Here's the thing. This is what's brilliant. What was brilliant at times about Diamond and Pearl. Remember in Sun and Moon when we said we didn't like how the series would go from serious episode to completely comedic episode?
mm-hmm.
Like we see a Pokemon die one episode, and then it's about a Pokemon getting its shovel back or something like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But for Diamond and Pearl, I remember James gave up Cacnea so it could train. And the very next episode, it wasn't, okay, we're back to doing what we always do. Well, it started off with Team Rocket trying to have a meal with James, and he was completely depressed the whole time. So, and throughout the episode, Jesse and Meowth were trying to steal Pokemon from him. It's like, dude, we were just doing this to make you feel better because you've been depressed. And we just saw James crying at how happy he was to have people like that in his life. And it's like, yes, I agree. So in a sense, damn it, now that you make me say it, now I'm upset about that. Now my mind's changed. I don't like it anymore. But who knows? Maybe it'll get better.
Yeah, it gave them depth that, in my opinion, has been removed from this. That because now, without the fact that unless they show them caring for each other, I mean, heck, I think in one of the episodes when they got the Wailord and they get blown away, they pretty much abandon the Wailord. It's like, that's not Team Rocket. Team Rocket is supposed to be, yes, they're trying to steal Ash's Pikachu or the Pokemon of the day, but when it comes to their Pokemon, much care in previous series that it's kind of upsetting to me.
I don't know. I don't think it's that. I think it might have been just one of those things that maybe it just got picked up later or something along those lines. As long as they're not like verbally or physically abusing it or anything, I'm okay. I'm okay. And also you kind of remind me of one of the episodes with said it might have been with the Wailord. I don't know. We saw a Piplup and a Krogunk in the Sinnoh region. Oh boy, the second I saw that Piplup, I'm like, that's not Dawn's Piplup. That can't be. And it turns out I was right. It wasn't. But I don't know. How do you feel about like certain prominent Pokemon? Because if it had been like Piplup and a not Poplio, but just Piplup and any other random Pokemon, I'd be like, oh, a Pip, whatever. But it was specifically a Piplup and a Krogunk, two Pokemon that were heavily prominent in the Diamond and Pearl series. Did it bother you that they just sort of said that they just use those for no reason, or did it just not register at all?
It registered. Because I was in the same boat. It's like that's probably not Dawn's, but maybe this would be an interesting way of bringing in old trainers. Like that way, you could have everybody come back throughout the series.
Yeah.
But I doubt they're gonna do that, and mainly because Pokemon has shown that they like to develop their new characters rather than bring back old.
which in some senses I'm okay with. But but like in Sun and the Moon, when you have too many characters going around, that makes it harder and harder. Which going back to it, that's what I like about this series. It feels very new, yet back to basics at the same time. Very few character. There are basically three main characters. Everybody else is on the side, but they will get their own episodes. They'll get a moment every now and then. I don't know. That's what I appreciate about this series so far. And if the first several episodes are supposedly the worst episodes out of the bunch, like everybody else says, for you and me, that's not going to be a problem because we're already enjoying it. And if it only gets better, I think this series could be something special.
Sorry, I'm looking up something real quick.
What is it?
I'm trying to remember because one of the lab assistants in this series has the Magnemite.
Francois,
yes.
Yeah, the second I heard Francois, I'm like, oh my god, this man did not just name his Magnum. Oh my god, that's amazing. Like everybody else has such bland, boring names for nicknames. Like, give me some Francois. That's the only Pokemon I care about in this series so far, besides Scorbunny.
Yeah, I have it's kind of interesting based on I already know some stuff that's going to happen at least in the next part or the part after. Unfortunately, sometimes you just can't help but get spoiled for stuff.
Oh god, the internet is a cesspool.
So it's kind of interesting to see where they're going with what Pokemon Ash is getting.
Yeah, it feels like they're trying to it feels like they're trying to make his team strong, but at the same time, it feels like last time, it kind of feels too late. Because all of these Pokemon that are like we're not going to spoil it, but they're just all Pokemon that people catch regularly, like people online catch these and use them for battles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Ash is just now deciding, I'm going to get me one of those. Like, really, dude? Like, I know Pokemon's about raising, like any type of Pokemon can be as strong as long as you do this, and this. But there are times I look at Paul and he's like, oh, I catch strong Pokemon and train to be even harder. And I'm like, yeah, he's not completely wrong. I mean,
yeah,
it makes sense.
So I think we've pretty much covered everything I had. How about you?
No, we've pretty much covered everything on my end. So overall, after we talked about everything, final thoughts on part 1 of Pokemon Journeys.
I'm enjoying it. I'm hoping that, as I said, there's more character development. And as I said, I would like to see Team Rocket get their own Pokemon. Maybe I'm actually kind of hoping that Gigantamaxed, it's the turtle jaw Dreadnought ends up. I hope that ends up as James's Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. Well, James tends to get Pokemon that end up hurting him, but he loves them anyway, so that might be perfect. Then again, Jesse gets Pokemon that bite a lot: Arbok, Seviper, etc., etc. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing. I was like, before I say my thoughts or let you finish, I honestly felt like this was the season Arbok and Weezing could have come back. I don't know why, but I just felt like if they're going to pull the trigger, it would be now. But I don't know if we're ever seeing them again.
Yeah, I could possibly see like a whole thing where they're in Hoenn and they show Jesse and James sneaking up on Ash and Go, or Ash, Go, and Chloe, but then they hear a noise and turn around and they see just eyes in the bush, and then they cut out whenever Team Rocket shows up, and they actually have Arbok and Weezing back.
I'm gonna cry, dude. I'm gonna cry. I'm a grown ass man, and I'm gonna be crying my eyes out during that.
Yeah, I doubt it'll happen, unfortunately, but I think that they could do something really emotional with it. But
yeah, but overall, you're enjoying the series, but just it's too early to tell until everything.
Yeah, I gave Sun and Moon longer before I gave up on it than this, so I'm definitely going to give this when part 2 comes out.
Okay, so overall, I would say I'm enjoying it too. There are some small nitpicks with everything, but I tend to be a little more. I tend to be easier on the series when it's just starting because ideas and concept change along the series, which is probably why I didn't like the. I don't really abide by the 3-episode rule of anime. It's just like 3 episodes isn't really enough for me to gauge it. If it's a long anime series, I'll watch longer, and if it's 12 episodes and you've already watched 3, I'll just finish it regardless. But overall, in terms of watch it, search it, skip it, I say watch it.
Yeah, right now it's a watch it. If things change or something happens that we don't agree with, we'll let you know in part 2.
Yeah, heck, if for some reason you guys want us to do spoilers in the sense of maybe you want us to react to a certain moment before the English stuff, watch it. Just let us know. I'm sure Williamson can talk me into it or tie me to the chair or something as we start this up.
I know where he lives.
Don't make me come over. Don't make me come over there with Sophocles. Anyways, overall, let us know. What are your thoughts? Are you enjoying Pokemon Journeys? Are you not enjoying it? What changes would you want to see to it? And how banging is that theme song? Because yeah, it's pretty awesome on my end. More than it should be, but it's still pretty awesome. And maybe we'll actually take you guys up on the video that nobody except us recommended of Pokemon characters we just can't stand. And as usual, we would probably do a follow-up video, Pokemon characters that we like. Because here at the Anime Egotists, we try to be better, but we're just But anyways, this has been Foster.
And Williamson.
And that has been the review of Pokemon Journeys, Part 1. And this is Foster of the Anime Egotists saying, if you disagree, you're wrong.
You're watching Anime Egotists! And actually, I'm a better trainer than Brendan. Oh, come on, May. A little humility?